What's up, y'all? It's your man, Bobby Washington. I'm making a different video today. Something I stumbled across, man. A wonderful article that really, kind of touched me down deep, man. Because a lot of times, man, I know we all say if we had more money, things would be easier. Things would be better. And on one side of the coin, they would be. But on the other side of the coin, we can't confuse money for happiness. In this article, man, I'm going to read it to you guys, man, which is something I never do. I normally get in front of the camera and speak, but I want to read this thing word for word and then give you, my views on what the young man wrote here. But it says, why I don't want to get rich and why you should neither. So before you guys click the channel, here, let's hear it out. We've been sold a lie about happiness, our future, and getting rich. We believe that if we want the life we dream of, we have to become rich. At least that's what we're told. And so it's what we believe. Now, to be fair, some of us are smart enough to recognize that riches alone won't make us happy. We never started chasing money for money's sake. At first, we believed that money will help us gain something we want and that will make us happy. Unfortunately, as time passes by, we begin to forget the reason we're working so hard to become rich and start to focus on the money itself. That's where things get dangerous. Some time ago, I realized that wealth wouldn't get me where I wanted to go. This is the guy who wrote this speaking now. And I completely stopped caring about becoming rich. Instead, I started to focus on becoming free. The funny thing is, I became a millionaire in the process, but that was not something I was or am actively pursuing. And I don't think you should either. Wealth doesn't equal happiness, freedom does. You've probably heard the phrase, money can't buy happiness. I've heard money can't buy me love also. Had to throw that in there. And to a large extent, that's true. One often cited study claims that once your income grows to $75,000 a year, any further increases won't result in increased happiness. The study concludes that high-income earners aren't necessarily happier or more fulfilled than middle-class earners. Wow. But recently, a new study shows that money actually can buy happiness if you use it to buy time. Researchers found that when people use their money to pay for services that increase their free time, the report increased life satisfaction. When I found the correlation between happiness and more time, I realized that money is simply the tool and not the goal. That's when I stopped focusing on getting rich. Getting rich shouldn't be your goal. Your goal should be achieving freedom. Living a full life and being satisfied is about much more than gaining wealth. Achieving freedom means having the ability to do the things that bring you your life the most value. Freedom might mean spending time with family, traveling the world, surfing 5 days a week, serving with a nonprofit, or pursuing a hobby you've been neglecting. These are the types of things that help you live a rich life. Instead of chasing money, you should be pursuing freedom. Yes, often money is a factor in living a rich life. Gaining wealth can help you achieve that freedom and do the things you value most. But for many people, the amount of money you need to live a rich life is much lower than you think. So how do you figure out what living a rich life looks like for you? It all starts with values. Find your values. Chasing freedom instead of money sounds good on the surface, but it can be tough to do in practice. The best way to start is by asking two simple questions. What do you value most? How much money do you need to achieve those values? Think about the happiest times in your life. What were you doing? Who else was there? Where were you? Now ask yourself, what would your life look like if you could do these things the majority of the time? Are you traveling the globe or primarily staying in one area? How much time are you spending with loved ones? Are your hobbies expensive, or do you enjoy relatively inexpensive activities? Are you working full-time, part-time, or not at all? These are the types of questions you need to answer. Write down what freedom looks like to you, and then start figuring out how much it costs. I think you'll be surprised to find that achieving freedom doesn't always require you to be rich. The money will come in anyways. The funny thing about chasing freedom instead of money is that it often ends with more money than you need anyway. When you wake up every day and you're focused on earning enough money so that you can be free, you'll be much more efficient than if you're focused on money just for money's sake. This idea of getting clear on the goal was popularized by Simon Sinek. He showed that companies who started with their mission instead of their product are more likely to be successful. He calls this starting with your why. But starting with your why doesn't just work in business. It works in personal finance as well. When you get clear on what freedom looks like to you and why you want to be rich, you're more likely to achieve it. But if you wake up every day and you're focused on growing your wealth without knowing why, you're destined to fail. Stop chasing riches. At one point, you might have known your why and have since forgotten. Maybe your why has changed and you haven't course corrected it yet. Or perhaps you never knew it in the first place. Either way, if you want to be free, understanding what that freedom looks like is the first step in getting there. For you, finding freedom might involve becoming extraordinarily rich. If that's what is required, then by all means, go for it. For me, freedom looks like working on projects that matter and being home every night for my kids. Freedom is taking naps with my wife on Sunday afternoons. I love it. And traveling to see family whenever we want. It means taking overseas trips once a year and providing for my kids' education. Yes, these things will require money, and that's okay. I'll be chasing money to achieve my version of freedom. But I won't be trying to get rich just for the sake of getting rich, and you shouldn't either. So let me ask you, what does freedom mean for you? Get the best of Forbes in your next inbox. Okay, so basically, this guy has it down packed, man. I guess a lot of us tend to forget our why. I guess for me, man, I have been chasing money a lot. I have. But at the same time, I do have a lot of free time. You know, I gave up my job in 1998, over 20 years ago, and I started promoting my own music, selling my own music out of the trunk of my car. And that allowed me to work when I want to work. So I don't have to go punch a clock at 9 to 5. I can chill with my kids longer, chill with my wife longer. I can come home early, watch movies with my family, chill out with my family early. I also have other streams of income where I help other artists, and I love helping other artists. So that's a win-win because I'm doing something I enjoy. Helping them market their music to different fans through Spotify. So that's another why, I guess. You know, I love traveling. I like to be able to go wherever I want to go, when I want to go, and being that I don't have a 9 to 5, I guess me just freeing myself from a job is pretty much what I needed. You know, so you guys got to find your why and what you want to do, and not really look at so much money, because when you have more money, all you do is buy things. And how many things can you really buy before it gets monotonous and you start buying duplicates of the same things that you already have, like the same kind of car but different colors? That makes no sense. Okay, share this video, man, and if you guys could subscribe to my channel, like this video, and click on the article, man, and go read it for yourself if you want to share it and stuff.